lost the answers, but she found the key. Empowering ladies, setting us free. Battling the storm with courage and grace. Shayna's got the wisdom to help you embrace. No more relying on pills they don't know. She's got the strength to help you grow. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Medicine shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. Ladies, hear the call, it's time to rise. Shayna lifts the veil, opening eyes. No more shadows breaking your day. With her wisdom, fight pain away. Broken paths don't mean you're lost. Shayna shows to bear through the cost. Healing hearts one smile at a time. With Shayna, you'll shine forever and feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch, she'll set you free with the heart.
Hey, happy Nurses Week, first of all. And have you guys heard of patients that were diagnosed cancer, misdiagnosed cancer, never had it, passed away, even though they didn't have cancer? Did you ever think you can't do something and then you couldn't? But then think, oh, I can do that and did. Today, we're going to talk all about mastering your mindset by retraining your brain. I am Shayna Melissa Stockman, a very proud fellow nurse and nurse practitioner for over 30 years who empowers ladies, autoimmune warriors, and medical mysteries to get and feel better even when your meds and doctors couldn't, wouldn't, or didn't. I especially love empowering my fellow nurses, nurse practitioners, doctors, healthcare pros, and caregivers themselves for a deeper impact. Today, we're going to start off with some good news and recent events because there's so much negativity in this world. I don't even like putting on the news. So I like sharing some good news. Thank you for tuning in. Now we have reached 1 year of the Shayna Show live each and every week, but we've been on the 3 solid years. So thank you first for that. Recent upcoming events. This was just yesterday. We had the annual Strictly Business event. There is Elaine and Frank. I want to give them a very special shout out. They are married like 60 so years or something like that. Woohoo! Please, guys. I don't know exactly how many years, but it's a lot of decades, more than I have been born and on this planet. They are such a sweet couple. They have the creamiest, yummiest ice cream ever. And then also, this was at our event just yesterday, so I want to show how current our current events are. Then there they are with Lenore and Rick. Shout out to you guys. They are presidents of local groups on Long Island, New York. This was some of the beautiful ladies yesterday that attended, who had also attended my event the week before called Stress Less. And this was one of those events I did just over a week ago, Stress Less. It was more like a corporate wellness event to prevent burnout. They wanted me to talk about stress management. But who wants to manage stress, right? So we called it Stress Less. We did some book signings after, photo ops, and then we also had a huge fundraiser, raised lots of money while we listened to four different comedians, celebrated some birthdays while we were there, special shout outs. A lot of times, I know for me personally, I try to give my business to those I know, like, and trust. Instead of going to Google or, the yellow pages, if you will. And because I know, like, and trust my friends. And by the same token, they know, like, and trust me with their health for themselves and their treasured loved ones. So here's a fundraiser about a week ago, raised lots of money for the local community, celebrated some birthdays. A lot of my friends are my clients, not all of them, but a lot of them. And a lot of my friends, I am clients of theirs. So these are some friends, clients, members of our private group. You're more than welcome to join us. Special shout out. Julie had a birthday that evening. Anne just had a birthday. They're both in our private group and members. Sam looked the most beautiful that evening. Woohoo. Then just a few days ago, I also heard this awesome band. I'm not all just about strictly health and wellness. We need to decompress and sometimes just dance to burn a couple of calories, de-stress, and just feel good. It releases those feel good endorphins. So here I am with an awesome band called After Party and Common Ground. And the reason I share this image is because that evening I realized some of my friends had no idea of my story. There we are dancing the night away, but I realized that a couple of them there had no idea that I had all these autoimmune issues and I had been suffering, because they always see me energetic late at night, dancing to the wee hours of the morning. So I want to share my story, not to brag or to boast, but to inspire and motivate you that if you're going through a struggle with your own health, be it cancer, an autoimmune, a medical mystery, severe exhaustion, sadness, I was where a lot of you are. And I want to give you that hope and motivation, because today we're talking all about mastering your mindset. And then I also show you this picture, not only to just inspire and motivate you, but in the lower right, there's Andrea. I worked with her like 20 years ago in an emergency room setting in urgent care that was like an ER, not attached to a hospital. And I'm talking about this today because it is also Nurses Week, and I just saw her a few days ago. I loved working with her, but what I learned is when I was in that sick care system, it was all about the numbers. My fellow healthcare pros, you can relate. In the urgent care, right? It was 7 days a week. It was late nights. I was missing beautiful beach days, weekends, holidays, having no life, seeing as many as I could in an hour. This was like an ER out east in Long Island where there was no ER. I was literally seeing like easily 50 in a day. And I'm not even exaggerating that. Literally, like every 5 minutes, I would walk in a room, tell the assistant whatever test needed to be ordered, like, okay, rapid strep test, urinalysis, PFT, breathing test, nebulizer treatment with this and this med. Walk out, come back in, assess their lungs, give them a diagnosis, write a script, be off to the next patient. So I want you to know that the sick care system was all about the numbers. And the urgent cares, to be honest, they don't care if you get better, because you know what? If you're not better, come back, go to the ER, follow up your PCP and the specialist. So that's where I work differently now that I left the sick care system. Then I also want to say Happy Nurses Week. If you are a fellow nurse practitioner, healthcare pro, woohoo, high five to you. Congratulations. This is your time to shine. You are worthy and you are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better than your bestie. What I learned after being a licensed healthcare pro for over 30 years, a fellow nurse, a fellow nurse practitioner, is that I missed so many beautiful beach days, so many holidays, nights, weekends, overnights, just working our nights away. And I want you to know, if you're a fellow healthcare pro, celebrate, please. You are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better, than you treat your patients, your spouse, your child, and your parent. There are hundreds of hours this month. I want you to take at least one and treat yourself as good, if not better, than you treat the world. Now, here's a photo of some of my fellow nurses. I want to give a special shout out. Miss Loretta Ford, 100 and would be 104 years old, just passed away this past year. She was the first nurse practitioner ever, and she started the nurse practitioner program. Without her, my fellow nurse practitioners would not be where we are today. That was us about just over a year ago in Tennessee, where I was fortunate to speak on autoimmune disorders and teach my fellow healthcare pros all about autoimmune disorders on the same stage as Loretta Ford was honored. This past week, I trained a few hundreds of nurse practitioners and doctors all about autoimmune disorders, how to recognize the early signs and symptoms so they could diagnose it earlier and treat it earlier for better outcomes. Shout out to all my fellow students my fellow patients that I inspired to become a nurse, ones that I inspired to go on to become a registered nurse, a nurse practitioner, those that have won awards. I see other nursing teachers saying that their students failed the test again. I'm like, what? Mine are winning NP of the Year award. Woohoo. Shout out to you. Shout out to my former professors that were there last week, that told me how outstanding my job was and how very, very impressed they were. Fellow doctors that did the same, fellow nurse practitioners that are clients of mine that I helped with their own autoimmune disorders, that are now passing on my trailblazing techniques to other nurse practitioners. Shout out to Lacey, fellow NP in Texas, member of our private group, fellow NP Sherry. Shout out to Nurse Dale, who referred her beautiful daughter to me with autoimmune, who's doing absolutely amazing now. So thank you for my fellow nurses. If you are not a nurse, please, your call to action is do something special for a nurse that impacted your life or that of a treasured loved one this week. It could be a DM, a private message, an email, a note, a card. Buy them a cup of coffee, a pizza, just a phone call, letting them know how you impact your life. Because this week I received some of those messages and they help refill our cup, re-energize us, and light our fuel. Okay, last week, a few days ago, I spoke at this beautiful event with other expert speakers. I spoke about autoimmune. There was somebody talking about genetics, hypertensive guidelines that are new, updates, POTS, EDS, and more. And you know what? Sometimes we don't realize, today we're talking all about mastering our mindset. Sometimes we don't realize how far we have overcome until we look back a year, 2 years, 3 years later. This picture popped up for me just like a day or so ago, where it showed me a year ago, I was speaking at a wellness retreat to beautiful group of ladies. And then there I am on the right just a few days ago speaking at the Crest Hollow for hundreds of fellow nurse practitioners, doctorates, and fellows of AANP. That is the top 1% elite nurse practitioners in the entire US. And some of the feedback I got from students was I learned a lot from a former professor that taught me 30 years ago that my presentation was outstanding. And from an elite top 1% nationally nurse practitioner, a fellow of AANP and a doctorate, said that my presentation was very, very impressive. So thank you. Your feedback means a lot to me. And I'm glad I could empower you for your own health, your own autoimmune disorders, and help you create that deeper impact so that now you can recognize the signs and symptoms earlier to diagnose it and treat it correctly earlier as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Now, I also presented this poster presentation last week. I want to thank the state association for approving this evidence-based poster presentation that I did. It was a retrospective analysis of a lot of my patients, aka I like to call clients. And before this, there was a lot of doctors blow off alternatives, holistic, integrative root cause medicine, because they don't think it's proven. So I proved with this beyond a shadow of a doubt that a lot of my clients, I tested measurable um, regions in their body, in 10 different major areas of their body, before and after treatment, to prove that my integrative nurse practitioner interventions proved beyond a shadow of a doubt with measurable, proven positive outcomes in 10 regions plus quality of life. And within each of those regions had multiple measurements. And just to give you an idea of some of the measurements, I check my clients before and after: kidney function. They had diabetes, they don't anymore. They had high cholesterol, hypertension, they don't anymore. These are measurable, proven outcomes. They had heart failure. They don't anymore. They were spilling protein into the urine and they don't anymore. Their inflammation was high on numerous blood tests and it's not now. So I did copyright that and that's why I blocked out a lot of it. But I just want to let you know that my techniques are proven beyond a shadow of a doubt with measurable outcomes in 10 major regions, each with different measurements within plus quality of life. Okay, shout out to this very special client of mine. This is a text I literally just got a couple of days ago. For those that want to remain discreet or don't ask permission, I remove all identifiers. She said to me, we just reconnected after I treated her over 20 years ago. You quite literally saved my life in the day. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Please reach out to healthcare pros that changed your life and give them these messages to refill their cups. Now, for those of you that may not realize, I started diagnosing things like celiac disease in the 1990s before it was more well known. And in cases like this, these patients, the specialist had all of the tests, the endoscopies, the colonoscopies, the biopsies, and were left with no clear answers, no clear diagnosis that made sense, and no treatments that helped their symptoms, only to be told, follow up back with your PCP or get another opinion. Well, this client in particular, I helped diagnose her underlying autoimmune that was blown off by the doctors, by the specialists who had gotten paid for the expensive tests and then just seemed to discard the patient. Well, we don't know what's wrong with you, but we don't see a cancer. So please advocate for yourself. Okay. Shout out. No, it's all about good news, except for this. I just want to enlighten you. I'm constantly getting emails from the government, from the CDC, from the Department of Health on the newest, latest, and greatest. So Governor Hochul, let's not get too political here, just sent this out. She kind of pushes all those mandates as much as possible. And she said, hey, great news. Now all the newborn babies can get the RSV protection as a brand new infant. If you're not sure if the mom was vaccinated and had the protection, give it to the baby anyway. If you're not sure the baby had it, give it to them. If it's not even the season for RSV, but you have some extra left over, you can just give it to them. Don't you love it? So I am not opposed to protections, but I am for choice, okay? That means having the power by the parent to decide what is in that child's best interest. Now, the other reason I share this is this RSV protection is a monoclonal antibody. If you don't know what that means, in layman's terms, there are two different forms of this that they are giving out to the new babies who don't even have an immune system built yet. There are a human version. That means foreign RNA, DNA, genetics from another human. And there is a humanized version. The humanized version is giving them human-like genes that have animal genetic components and or are synthesized, man engineered and created. And the reason I'm sharing this is we are going to see a humongous uproar, even more so in the near future, of autoimmune disorders. Think about it like this. If you know of someone that was given an organ from another human, they are given like 20 anti-rejection meds for life because they are getting genes, DNA, RNA that is foreign to them. So to prevent their own body from fighting that foreign new gene of that new organ, they are given like 20 anti-rejection meds for life. But yet these newborn babies are injected with another human's genes and or a humanized version that could be human and or animal and or man synthesized manipulated version, and are not given any anti-rejection meds. And we do not know the long-term outcomes because these monoclonal antibodies are newer. So they haven't been giving them this way for 20 years to see even this child as an adult, if she is infertile, if she is incapable of replicating herself. And that seems to be a huge problem with these mandates, is infertility issues and a huge uproar of autoimmune disorders. Okay, now we're going to move right along. This is our last upcoming event that we have for quite a while, so don't miss it. Please, 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 please. I don't think I will ever offer this for free again, because to sustain a business and keep a business going, it needs to be matched energy. So please do not miss this event. It is Wednesday, May 20th at 7 p.m. EST. So if you're not in New York and you're like, hey, I want to catch an event, this is online and it's not pre-recorded. It is live. And if you're like, well, I can't afford it, it's free. There is no excuse not to catch this. If you're like, I have to work and I cannot get off work, the replay is available for those who pay to level up to the VIP access. So please mark your calendar for May 20th, 7 p.m. EST. Do not miss this because there will not be another one like this and for free. And then scan that QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim and claim your no cost or VIP seat. This is great if you want to be proactive in your health. If you are sick of popping all those meds, if you've been to all the doctors, all the specialists, and still feel like crap, tried all the meds, still feel like garbage, have no answers. If you have a medical mystery your doctors can't figure out, if you have an autoimmune issue, if you're exhausted, in pain, hair is thinning, you're gaining weight, you can't lose weight, you have infertility issues, weird rashes, this is for you. If you're a healthcare pro who takes care of those people or a caregiver, you can go to this event to bring back the information for them or invite them to attend too. So scan that QR, go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. I am limiting the number of free and VIP seats, so claim yours while you can. Only VIPs are getting the replay access, the digital printable workbook, an extra hour Zoom access, a live Q&A session, and a private one-on-one consultation with me. The VIPs are getting a much, much deeper dive, more than triple the amount of time for more gold nuggets, individualized, personalized attention to their unique needs. That's where the magic happens. If you want the quickest transformation and the most dramatic transformation, I highly encourage you to level up to the VIP for less than the cost of a meal out. I don't think I will ever offer the VIP with this much for this little and include a private consultation for a fraction of what I normally charge. So listen, this is not going to rock my world if you do it or not, because it's free. But I know from the bottom of my heart, it can help transform your life. Okay, moving right along. Today's topic, we're talking all about mastering your mindset to retrain your brain. And in my workshops and my 90-day program, I start off with this because if you think you can't do something, you don't try and then you don't. And if you think you can do something, then you try and you take the action steps and you do. It's called the self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think you're going to fail a test, then you don't try and then you fail. So your thoughts lead to those actions that dictated the outcome. Sometimes we only need to retrain our brain and master our mindset so we can change the end outcome. And I drew the word believe in the sand as the sand was going down. I superimposed this real picture of my grandma, God rest her soul, because when she stopped walking, the doctors gave up hope she would ever walk again. And I thought, I was a brand new nurse. I didn't even have experience. I thought, well, if I get to the cause, then I can stop it from getting worse, the muscle stiffness and weakness. And I could probably reverse it. So let me get to the cause to find the solution. And she asked me, now she's looking up to me, right? Do you ever think I'll walk again? And I thought, if I get to the cause, and I thought, yes. And because I gave her that hope, then we took consistent action steps and never, ever, ever quit. There she is, standing and walking again. It wasn't on the beach. It was in Rockefeller Center in New York City. Now, here is the before on the left. I was a brand new nurse in 1993. Nobody really heard of physical therapy back then. I was making up my own exercises. But the point is, because I gave her the belief. So if you are suffering out there, you have to first believe it is possible. There's grandma in 1993 when she was barely walking, then she stopped walking. The middle picture is us standing, her standing totally unaided by herself in 1994. And there, fast forward, I am today. So I've been doing this well over 30 years. It starts off with mastering your mindset, retraining your brain, believing it is possible. So if you're going through something right now, I want to give you the belief that it is possible. And this is the gift that just keeps giving, because about a year, a little over a year ago, my friend's father stopped walking, broke his back, and thought he'd never walk again. And he had seen his roommate at the time in the acute care facility that hadn't walked in several months, and he had given up hope on ever walking again. And he asked me the same question because I diagnosed what the doctors miss. And he said, do you think I'll walk again? And I told him that grandma story. And because I gave him the belief, then we took the consistent action steps and therapy and exercises, and he too walked again. So if you believe you can't, you won't. If you believe you can, you will. Bing! Time's up. Bing! Now, the other reason I share you this is the story is because I was giving up hope on myself. All the doctors gave up hope on me because my body was deteriorating so quickly and so severely that I had no energy. I was short of breath walking into the next room. I want to show you guys how severe it was. My hair was falling out in clumps. I was barely eating anything and it was healthy, but I was still gaining weight. I was getting weird rashes, IBS, having to run to the restroom. I was diagnosed with everything from, I was also aspirating on my food, falling clumsy. I was diagnosed with everything from IBS to MS and full blown heart failure. I was given meds. Try this, try that, try that. Oh, you didn't like that, doctor? Let's send you out for this test again. You didn't like that result? Let's retest you as if it's going to show something different. Let's send you to another rheumatologist. Let's find another PCP. And I was given no answers. I was told, try this, try that, like I was a guinea pig. And I did not give up hope. I was ready to. So if you are sounding a lot like this, I want you to know, look at me now. I'm back to a full head of hair, energetic, happy, no more heart failure. Now all my tests are normal, including my blood pressure, my kidney function, everything that was abnormal is back to normal. And I have a quality of life that I had before. So I want to give you that hope. If you think you can, you can. And I want to show you that it is possible, despite what the doctor said about my grandma. She walked again, despite what the doctor said about that other client not walking, despite that the doctors gave up hope on me. When there is still faith, then you have hope and you can take the action steps needed. So I hope to not brag or boast, but to inspire you, to show you no matter how much you're struggling, even if you're in heart failure and bedridden, I believe in you. I believe it is possible. You are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better, than you treat everyone else. Now, the other reason I show you this story is I wrote about it in a book. So if you'd like more gold nuggets, get that book, Overcoming Life Obstacle. It reached #1 internationally, which is hard to do. And someone asked me last week what categories are each #1 in. All of these: alternative medicine, personal, naturopathic, medical books, and more. You can just reach out to me for a signed copy or go to the website worldwellnessexpert.com/OLO for the acronym of the book. Now, today we're talking about mastering your mindset to retrain your brain. Check out this photo. If you're not feeling well and you're focused on, I have to go to the doctor. When's my next appointment? Oh my God, I need to make another appointment. Am I going to have enough pills till I get there? I have to go to the pharmacy. Did I eat? I need to take this pill with food. You're spending all your time and energy there. Sometimes you need to refocus over there. What did Shayna do to become energetic? How can I do that? How is she off all of her meds? What did she do? What can I do that she did that helped her? And the reason I share you this is there's a story about a canoe where the instructor kept saying, see over there where those rocks are? Don't go over there. And the canoe, the people in the canoe looked over at the rocks and crashed into the rocks. So the next time he had a different group, he said, you see those rocks over there? Don't go over there. That's where the rocks are. And again, their attention went over to the rocks and they crashed into the rocks. So where your attention goes, your energy flows. Then that instructor just said, you know what? He didn't say don't go over there. He said, you see over there where there's clearing, go over there. And then they refocused their attention and went over there and didn't crash. So the moral of the story is where your attention goes, your energy flows. Sometimes you need to refocus your attention off of the pain, the doctors, the pills, the pharmacy. Did I eat for this pill? And onto what may help you. Now, a lot of you may have some of these symptoms. I'm not going to go into all autoimmune, but you're exhausted. You're drinking your 5th cup of coffee. I was doing this. The coffee was giving me acid reflux. They wanted to put me on more pills. They wanted me on stimulants for energy. Then I couldn't sleep. Then I was getting palpitations. And each med led to a different med. So if you're exhausted, brain fog, forgetfulness, these could be early warning signs that should not be ignored. You don't ignore them in your car. Don't ignore them in your body. Now, the reason I show you this slide is just a friend a couple of days ago, I had told her months ago about this story. Now, autoimmune often presents itself with dryness. The dryness could be in the eyes, and you think they're itchy because of allergies. The dryness could be in the hair, causing frizziness, in the skin, causing rashes, or in the intestine, causing significant constipation. Now, often dry eyes is a very early sign of autoimmune, especially when clients, I've had so many come to me, hey doc, you know what? I'd like a medicine for my allergies. And in taking a further history, I'm not a doctor, I don't claim to be, but they like call me that. They tried all the over the counters, they didn't work. They had no other symptoms, no sneezing, itching, coughing, just dry eyes. And the re-wetting drops were temporary relief. Early warning sign commonly of autoimmune disorders is itchy eyes. So please do not ignore this. One of my friends, I had told her this about 6 months ago, and now fast forward 6 months, it turns out now she thinks she has an autoimmune disorder. And I take care of a lot of my friends as well, but I want you to know I can't do it in a quick text. When you guys are texting me like, hey, what blood work should I have? It needs to be a full consultation. Your doctors can't figure you out in the few years you've been to them. Do you think in a simple text I can just say here, it's not a one size fits all? Okay, now also if you have some of those symptoms or you're exhausted and you're gaining weight and you're having weird rashes or running to the restroom, then you have less confidence and you're starting to get sad. But it might not be depression, it might be an underlying autoimmune causing that. Now, then you go to the doctor, right? And you see this image here, you're waiting in line for like 3 hours and you know you're going to be rushed out to your door. And a lot of my clients, can you see this weight room image? A lot of my clients feel like this, and I had felt like this too. And you're waiting there for 3 hours. You have complaints for 5 years, and you know you're going to get 5 minutes of their time, and they're not really listening to you. They're just thinking in their head, okay, how can I go on to the next patient? I don't do that. I do a deep dive consultation. Ahead of time, I get all of your signs, symptoms, allergies, prior negative results, prior positive results, your labs, your imaging. Then I type that all into a chart. Then I spend an hour during an initial consultation to listen to you like your prior providers probably didn't, to really find out what's bothering you. Because it's often the clients that I listen to give me the answers that I need to correctly diagnose them. Now, you might be in that waiting room, and I want you guys to dream and dream big. When we were younger, I used to dream about being a nurse, see? And then I took the action steps needed to make that possible. I want you guys to dream, especially if you're suffering with symptoms now or autoimmune or cancer. If those symptoms and those medications and those treatments weren't holding you back, what would you like more of? More joy, more playing with the babies, the grandbabies, right? Because I want you to refocus off of those rocks and doctor visits and pills and onto what you would like to have. Would it be more time with the babies, the grandbabies, more quality of life, hiking, biking out at the beach, playing softball again, or more intimacy because now you have your energy back and your confidence back again, right? So think about what you would like more of, and we have to focus off of the doctor visits and the pills and onto what you would like more of. Now, the doctor says your tests are normal, right? Now, I don't want to bash all doctors because there's some good ones out there, but this is very common. Almost all the clients that come to me, they were told their doctors said their tests were normal, and they weren't. And, and then the doctors tell them often, not always, I don't want to bash them all, that, you know what, or the doctors tell them you're just getting older. That's what they told me. And I'm like, wait a second, I see that 90-year-old dancing late at night. If it was just getting older, then why does she have the energy and I don't? So please listen to your gut. Your gut's never been wrong. Your intuition has never been wrong. Please advocate for yourself. Write down all of your signs and symptoms. Go to your doctor. If they don't give you the results, schedule a video consultation with myself or join our upcoming workshop. Okay, moving right along. So here's a typical example. You go to the doctor and they order this one test for your thyroid, right? Well, I see so many clients that come to me who've been to all the doctors and specialists, and I'm not bashing all of them because they're not all bad, but most of them aren't near as thorough as me. Their doctor orders one or two basic tests, and they don't discover their problem, and they tell them they're getting older, their tests are normal. Their tests are normal because they didn't order the correct test. The normal range is too huge, or they don't have an optimized level. I ordered lots of tests individualized to your specific needs. It could be all your thyroid. It could be for lots of autoimmune disorders, inflammation, what your body's depleted on, genetics, and so much more. And I want you to know this has to be done during a consultation. If your doctor has known you for years and has you coming back periodically for the past few years and couldn't figure it out, please do not text me what tests I should have. You need to schedule a private consultation where we go through all of your signs, your symptoms, your family history, your genetics, what tests you had that were normal, abnormal, what blood tests, what imaging, what made you feel better, what made you feel worse, what other symptoms are along with it. So it's a huge process. Please, I encourage you to go to worldwellnessexpert.com, either sign up for the workshop or a consult. Now, here's a prime example, right? What happens if you ask me, or I ask you, say I ask you, what kind of car do you think I should get? Or what kind of house do you think I should buy for my next home? Wouldn't you have extra questions for me, right? So that is exactly the point. If you come to me, what kind of car should I get? It depends. If you're single and ready to mingle, maybe a Corvette. If you're older with a family of 6, I might say a minivan. So please do not text me what lab should I get. It has to be individualized to the patient. If you're a realtor out there, you're not going to tell everyone, oh, what kind of home, when they come to you, what kind of home should I get? Say, here, this one. 3 bedrooms, 5 baths, whatever. You're not going to do that. You're going to ask them lots of questions. What are their price points? Do they want warm weather? How many bathrooms? How many bedrooms? So please don't ask me a general question. Schedule a discovery call or a private consultation. Now, then a lot of the doctors say, try this, try that. You are not a guinea pig. I have been a licensed healthcare professional with 4 licenses to do this, and 30 plus years experience, and 5 college degrees, and personal experience as an autoimmune warrior myself. I don't have to say, try this, try that. If your doctor says, try this, try that, you might want to run and reach out to me. Because a lot of times when they say, try this, try that, that's because they don't know. And we're not realizing that the medications they're trying on you are a leading cause of death in this country. And deaths from drugs in this country have surpassed those from motor vehicle accidents and gunshots put together. Now, a lot of times, I don't know why we do this. Do you guys Google how to fix the electrical work in your home? Right? No, right? Why not? You don't want your house burning down. Do you guys Google how to rebuild the engine in your car? No, right? Why? Because you know an expert has already done it hundreds of times, knows the trial and errors with other people, could do it for you in a fraction of the time with a lot less stress and probably at a fraction of the cost overall. So why are you looking to Google to solve your problem? Right? You're not doing it with the electric in your house because you don't want your house burning down. You're not doing it with rebuilding your car's engine because there's too many different detail factors. What kind of car, what size motor, what year it is. So why are you taking generalized knowledge, generalized information off of Google when there's too much information? You could be researching for the rest of your life, trying this, trying that. And there is so much wrong information. I see so many doctors trying to be influencers on social media that are giving wrong advice, or people that are not even licensed healthcare pros, coaches. Nothing wrong with coaches, we need them, but giving medical advice that are not trained nor licensed to give that medical advice. So if you won't go to Google to fix the electrical in your home or your car's motor, why are you looking at Google for generalized information to treat your one life when you can't get replacement parts that easy? Okay. Now, the reason I show you that bucket is because often the medications you're given are like a quick fix good for now. They're like putting a bucket under a roof leak, right? It's solving the immediate issue, but not the underlying problem, right? And then that roof leak is getting bigger and you need electrical and mold redemption. And just by using that quick fix, you're going to have to spend a lot more time, a lot more energy, and a lot more aggravation. And I was recently did a talk in an auditorium that held 200. And I asked anyone here, if you or anyone you ever knew got cured of your chronic illness with a medication, raise your hand up high. And not one hand went up. And we know meds is not curing chronic illnesses. How many people, or you yourself, might be on 3 medications for your blood pressure or your diabetes or your heart, right? Because the one med did not stop the progression and it was still worsening. And then you got side effects and needed another medicine. Okay, now you can Google Rockefeller and how medicine started, but I just want to let you know the reason I'm so not for medicine first line, I'm not opposed, but not for first line, is because my grandpa was a licensed pharmacist and died of a lethal drug interaction. And in this country, we're too rapidly resorting to pills that never cure the underlying chronic illness, nor stop the progression. Now, check this out, healthcare pros. How many of you out there are like this person, right? You're in that sandwich generation where you're taking care of the baby, the grandbaby, the aging parent, and the significant other. And there's just no time for you. You are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better, than you treat your grandbabies, your spouse, and your aging parents. There are hundreds of hours in a month. You are worthy and deserving to take at least one this month to perhaps join our upcoming workshop on May 20th. Now, I'll show you this picture because I was running an ER during the pandemic with skeleton crew triple the amount of demand in heart failure. And I was asked at the end of the day, how many did you treat today? I can only treat the number that walk in the door. So I want you to know, especially my fellow healthcare pros, especially for Nurses Week, we are taking care of the world. But who the hell is taking care of you? So now I seem to be the go-to gal for my fellow healthcare pros because you are taking care of the world. And if you get sick, you can't take care of the world. We need you to get well and stay well so that you can take care of all these people. Now, I also show you this because I was on a conference with 100,000 women that had 200,000 eyeballs on me. And I was asked, with all this audience watching me, if you could say one thing to yourself or your younger self, what would you say? Now, I hope you take this the right way. I said, why the hell do you treat me so bad? You treat the whole world better than me. I too am worthy. I too am deserving, if not more so. You know what? And I had this conversation with myself. I'm like, damn, I treat everyone else better. You treat everyone else better than me. If I didn't have to be friends with you, I wouldn't. But you need to treat yourself better because you know what? The only person you can guarantee to be around for the rest of your life is you. So why are you treating your best friend better than yourself? The reality is in 5, 10, 20 years, they might not be best friends with you anymore. They might not even be on this planet. So why are you treating them better than yourself? So I had to look in the mirror like this and say, hey, what advice would I have for my younger self? And I double dog dare you to do that. Give yourself advice. You see this little picture of baby Shayna? I think that's adorable. Can you show that? Okay. Anyway, so there's baby Shayna. So there I am looking in the mirror. What advice would I give my younger self? Treat yourself as good as you treat everyone else. Now, well, you know, you were worthy, you were deserving. When I used to tell my patients all the time, my patients' caregivers, you have to take care of yourself because if you get run down, you can't take care of them. But yet, in all honesty, I wasn't doing that myself. And as caregivers, we, as healthcare pros, we tell everyone else to do that, but we often don't do it. You must put that oxygen mask on yourself first. It is not selfish. It is selfless. Because if that plane goes down and you don't give yourself oxygen, you will pass out or even worse, you are dead. You can't help that child, that spouse, that aging parent. So again, it is not selfish. It is selfless to do self-care. And it took me 50 something years to learn that. Okay, you gotta do these few things. This is a talk I gave about a week ago, a corporate wellness talk, all about stress management that I called Stress Less. You have to treat yourself as good as you treat others. You have to start saying no. Practice that in the mirror on your puppy dogs. You have a choice to say yes or no. And I only learned this very powerful 2-letter word recently, and I'm starting to say it a lot more. And because I do, that's giving me more time and energy for the right things that matter. And you have to set boundaries with friends as well. And you have the choice. Say yes, say no. Delegate those duties out, set boundaries, ask for help. Not only did I just recently learn to say no, set boundaries, delegate duties out, like I have shoppers do my food shopping for me. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be done. And ask for help. No one is coming to save you if you do not ask. I know it's hard, ladies, because the world depends on you. But set an hour every month, at least every month, if not every week, for you. You know what? I started doing this for this hour of exercise, actually 2 hours every Monday for like a kind of old school jazzercise exercise, Zumba, if you will, stretching and strengthening. Now, sometimes we have to give up to gain. You have overflowing groceries in your hands. You have to put something down in order to have room to pick something else up, right? So I want you guys to let go of something that doesn't serve you anymore. If there is something you've been holding on to way too long and you cannot change it, because we're talking about mindset today, let it go. So right now, if you're watching on the replay, stop. pause, figure out what you cannot change, right? The smart people, wise people have to learn the serenity prayer. That's basically be smart enough to know what you can change and what you can't. And things you cannot change, let it go. It's just wasting your time, energy, and effort and negativity. So think about something right now you cannot change and just let it go. And this will give you more time, energy, and effort for the things that matter. Woohoo! How does that feel? Put it on a piece of paper, rip it up. Woohoo! Now you have more time and energy. Spring cleaning. Get rid of things that no longer serve you. If people make you feel sad, mad, you don't need to invite them to things. You don't need to go to their events. Say no, set boundaries, take a break, unfriend them, block them, get out of their groups, kick them out of your group, unsubscribe to their emails, kick them off your email list. If someone makes you feel sad or mad, you don't need to put up with it. Set boundaries, say no, and block or delete them. Okay, simple swap outs. I want to show you guys in your busy lifestyle things you can do. Swap out this for that. What if you swapped out an hour of TV watching for 4 minutes of dancing every day? That would save you at the end of the year. You'd have an extra 365 hours and you would have accomplished 24 hours of exercise you wouldn't have had. So in your busy lifestyle during the workshop and the 90-day, I want to show you how you could do simple swap outs, this for that. Quick, easy, simple. Now, again, that quick fix, right? It's like putting that bucket under the roof leak. Sometimes, well, often medications, that's what they are. They're a, hey, good for now Band-Aid, but they usually never stop the progression of a chronic illness, and they usually never reverse it. I want to get to the root cause of your problem to stop it from getting worse. Because how much more tired can you get? How much more weight gain can you afford? I want to get to the root cause to stop the progression and even reverse it. And when we do that, then the symptoms greatly decrease or even resolve. And when the symptoms are resolved, you often don't need the medications anymore for the symptoms that aren't there. And without the meds, you don't have the side effects, dependencies, interactions, deaths, and overdoses. What a concept. So I want to be that expert. Now look at this roof leak here. Would you rather put that bucket under your roof leak or hire the expert who has fixed roofs thousands of times, has the correct tools, doesn't have to try this, try that, knows how to get to the root cause of your problem, right? The meds is like putting the tape on the inside of the ceiling, right? It's good for now, it's not fixing it. So would you rather get the bucket or would you rather hire the expert that has the tools to fix the problem so the leak goes away and you don't need more buckets and more pills and mops and, I don't know, water vacuums and all those other things? I want to be that expert for you that doesn't have to trial and error, that has the tools to empower you to get to the underlying root causes to stop that problem from getting worse. Reverse it, decrease or get rid of your symptoms, and decrease or eliminate your reliance on meds. And how are we going to do this? Simply the workshop. That's the quickest way, because you know what? You can hire me one-on-one. That's going to cost you a lot more money. Or you can just start by going to the workshop. It is absolutely free. There's no pressure to get anything, buy anything, or anything from there. You're just going to mark your calendar, May 20th, Wednesday, 7 p.m. EST. It's live. It's online. You can do it from anywhere. There's a free option. There's a VIP option. If you'd like to level up to the VIP, that's where a lot of the magic happens. Scan that or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim, because that's where you're going to get a lot of the gold nuggets that's going to transform you. Now, the VIP option. Who doesn't like VIP? I highly encourage you, if you want to take your health seriously and you don't want to just put that bucket under your roof leak and you really want to get to the root cause and hire the expert and have the tools to feel better, get better, and reduce or eliminate your reliance on meds, you want to level up to the VIP, because you're going to get over triple the amount of time, which is triple the amount of content. You're going to get individualized care. The VIPs not only just get the replay, they'll get on the Zoom with me. They'll get an extra hour after. They'll also get after that a live Q&A session for answers to your unique specific situation. You'll get the digital and printable workbook with the worksheets, the notes. You'll also get a private one-on-one consultation with me for less. You'll get all of that for less than the cost of my normal consult. And again, I don't think I'll ever offer this again for free. And I don't think I'll ever offer this much in the VIP for this little. Oh, VIPs also get the replay access. So I encourage you to scan it or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Just choose VIP or free, whichever. And I hope to see you there. That's where the magic happens. Oh, the VIPs also, when they are on the Zoom, we do the randomizer wheel and we spin it around and we give you some really cool prizes. Like I said, the VIPs are going to get the Zoom access, the extra hour after the workshop, a live Q&A session with hot seats for answers to your questions, the biohacker tracker to monitor your progress, discover your weaknesses. You'll also get the self-assessment survey, which shows me all of your problems and where your weaknesses are, your strengths are. You'll gain the replay. You'll gain a private one-on-one consultation with me to be done at another time. You'll gain that personalized, individualized attention to move you to the next level. Because think about it like this. If you're Googling how to fix the electrical in your house, right? Um, it's going to take you forever and it's just general information and too much misinformation. But what if that electrician says, I know you have this many amps and voltages and outlets, and they give you the exact information you need for your unique situation? That's what I'm doing to the VIPs. I am giving you personalized, one-on-one, individualized attention for your unique needs versus the general information. So it's not like when you're buying a house, which house should I get? It's that realtor is seeing your unique needs and giving you advice specific to you. And that's what happens with the VIPs. So if you're ready for a transformation and a bigger transformation and a quicker transformation, a much quicker transformation, then please make sure you mark your calendars, you register, you show up, you play full out, undivided attention, and level up to the VIP. That's all I want to say for now. Um, I hope to see you on the workshop, and I hope to see you on the VIP session where the magic happens. So, again, I want to give a very special shout out to all my fellow nurses during Nurses Week, my fellow nurse practitioners. If you are a healthcare pro, thank you for everything you do. And also, I hope to see you on the VIP workshop. Thanks for tuning in, watching to the end. And please drop a heart or a comment so I know who's watching. And share this with someone who could benefit from the workshop so they can register and do it with you.